Each year, the Amazon rainforest absorbs nearly 2 billion tons of carbon dioxide, acting as one of Earth's largest carbon reservoirs. It is a living, breathing giant, a vast green stronghold pulsing with ancient energy. Beneath its endless canopy, rivers like the Las Piedras wind their way through the wilderness, nourishing life that has evolved over millions of years. The Amazon is not just a forest, it is a force, a cradle of biodiversity, and a battlefield of survival. This sprawling wilderness, often called the lungs of the earth, is home to more than just towering trees and vibrant plant life. It is the domain of predators, the strongest, the fastest, the most venomous. Here, the rules are ancient, shaped by nature's raw hand. Life and death move in cycles, locked in a silent war beneath the leaves. The Amazon's predators are more than hunters. They are architects of balance, shaping an ecosystem where every heartbeat and every footstep is a struggle to endure. In the shadows, a jaguar stalks with spectral silence. In the water, an anaconda waits with coiled patience. On the muddy banks, the black caiman watches with prehistoric stillness. Apex predators dominate every corner of this world, from forest floor to canopy, from dark caves to rushing rivers. Each has evolved with brutal precision to survive and to rule. Welcome to the Amazon, ancient, untamed, and alive. This is Wild Amazon, mysteries of the ultimate predators. Long before it became the vast rainforest we know today, the Amazon was something entirely different. A flooded inland sea, shaped by the relentless march of geological time. Millions of years ago, the rise of the Andes Mountains shifted the very flow of ancient rivers. What once drained westward toward the Pacific was redirected eastward, carving a new path across the continent and emptying into the Atlantic Ocean. This massive transformation turned a waterlogged basin into a nutrient-rich expanse, the perfect cradle for what would become the most diverse tropical rainforest on Earth. Today, the Amazon sprawls across 9 nations, its heart beating strongest in Brazil, which holds nearly 60% of the forest's total area. It is a living mosaic of landscapes, lowland plains, deep river valleys, dense forests, and swift-moving tributaries, each playing its part in sustaining the rhythm of life. Fed by thousands of streams and rivers, the Amazon River itself winds like a silver artery through the jungle, delivering not only water, but minerals, nutrients, and the very conditions required for survival. From the forest floor to the canopy high above, this ecosystem is layered in life. The soil, constantly renewed by decomposing matter, supports a dense tapestry of plant species. Above, the trees stretch skyward, weaving a green ceiling that shelters and shades the forest below. Sunlight rarely pierces this upper veil, creating a twilight world beneath, damp, humid, and bursting with unseen motion. This ancient forest, rooted in millions of years of evolution, is more than a collection of trees. It is an engine of the planet's climate, a vital regulator of air, water, and temperature. Every leaf that trembles in the breeze, every river that cuts through the undergrowth, is part of a greater system. A system that sustains not just the life within its borders, but the balance of life across the earth. Beneath the towering canopy of the Amazon, where only fragments of light filter through the dense layers above, lies a world built on silence, patience, and sudden violence. This is the forest floor, dark, humid, and alive with the rustling of leaves, the drip of water, and the unseen movements of countless creatures. Here, evolution has forged some of the rainforest's most skilled and unforgiving hunters. Moving like a shadow, the jaguar, Panthera onca, rules this realm with unmatched strength and stealth. The largest cat in the Americas, the jaguar's rosette-covered coat blends seamlessly with the dappled foliage, making it nearly invisible until it strikes. Unlike other big cats that suffocate their prey with a bite to the neck, the jaguar employs a more brutal method. A single, crushing bite to the skull, piercing bone with a bite force of over 1,500 pounds per square inch. This lethal precision allows it to bring down animals far larger than itself, from wild pigs to large reptiles like black caimans. In this arena, the jaguar is not simply a predator. It is a symbol of raw, elemental power, but not all killers here wear such fearsome forms. Among the leaf litter, hidden beneath the damp earth and fallen branches, tiny predators await their chance to strike. Poison dart frogs, brilliantly colored in hues of red, yellow, and blue, are as beautiful as they are deadly. Though barely the size of a thumb, they carry batrachotoxin in their skin, one of the most potent natural poisons known. One touch is enough to paralyze or even kill. These frogs don't chase their prey. Instead, they wait, perfectly still, striking with speed and precision when an unsuspecting ant or termite passes too close. In the Amazon's rivers and swamps, every ripple, every shadow, carries the potential for a deadly encounter. From the silent coils of the anaconda to the crushing jaws of the caiman, this watery realm belongs to predators that strike without warning. And dis even deeper in the soil, colonies of leafcutter ants create vast underground cities. Millions of individuals work in flawless coordination, slicing leaves and carrying them back to cultivate a symbiotic fungus, their only food source. These ants form a living machine. Workers, soldiers, queens, and farmers, all playing their role. Their nests stretch meters beneath the ground, a labyrinth of chambers and tunnels that rival the engineering feats of any human city. Lurking at the edge of this miniature empire is the Goliath tarantula, the largest spider in the world. Weighing nearly as much as a small rodent, it hunts with silence and patience. Hidden in burrows, it detects the vibrations of passing prey with fine hairs on its legs, then lunges in a sudden blur of motion. With fangs nearly an inch long, it injects venom and digestive enzymes, liquefying its prey from the inside out. On the forest floor, life is measured in moments. The rustle before the strike, the breath before the kill. In this shadowed underworld, size does not guarantee safety. Power wears many forms, and survival belongs to those who are swift, silent, and deadly. Above the forest floor, rising over 100 feet into the sky, the Amazon's canopy forms a living ceiling of green. It is a world suspended between earth and sky, flooded with filtered light, thick with moisture, and teeming with creatures that may never touch the ground in their lifetime. This elevated realm is one of the most complex and competitive habitats on the planet, and within its tangled branches, a different class of predator rules. High among the leaves, the sloth, Bradypus, seems like a creature untouched by time. Moving with astonishing slowness, it spends nearly its entire life hanging upside down from tree limbs, conserving energy with each deliberate motion. Its moss-covered fur and algae-streaked body blend effortlessly into the foliage, a camouflage perfected through centuries of stillness. Beneath its quiet exterior, a tiny ecosystem flourishes. Moths, fungi, and bacteria working in symbiosis with the sloth, all surviving on patience and balance. But not all residents of the canopy are so calm. When the forest stirs with eerie, echoing calls, it is the howler monkey, Alouatta, announcing its presence. With vocal cords housed in an enlarged larynx, it produces the loudest calls of any land mammal. These howls can travel for miles, acting as territorial warnings and social signals across the treetops. In a place where visibility is limited, sound becomes survival. Swinging effortlessly from branch to branch, spider monkeys, ateles, are the acrobats of the rainforest. With prehensile tails that act as a fifth limb, they move with speed and elegance through the canopy, covering great distances in search of fruit and shelter. Their long limbs, hooked hands, and incredible agility allow them to escape predators and navigate the dense foliage with a grace few can match. Among the branches, the toucan stands out like a living jewel. With a beak that can span over 7 inches but weighs almost nothing, thanks to its keratin structure and hollow design, the toucan is as much a marvel of biology as it is a spectacle of color. But its beak serves more than beauty. It regulates body temperature and helps gather food in hard-to-reach places. These birds also play a vital ecological role, dispersing seeds that help sustain the rainforest's plant diversity. As night falls and the jungle darkens, the silent wings of the great horned owl, Bubo virginianus, glide through the upper branches. Its massive eyes, adapted for low light, capture every flicker of movement in the gloom. Asymmetrical ears give it pinpoint auditory precision, detecting the faintest rustle of prey. With a flight nearly imperceptible to the human ear, it strikes with talons strong enough to pierce bone. A phantom hunter of the canopy. Within this lush upper world, where the light is fragmented and time feels suspended, life unfolds in 3 dimensions. Claws and camouflage, flight and fangs. Here, among the highest branches of the Amazon, evolution has crafted some of its most specialized and elusive predators. The ground below may be ruled by strength, but in the canopy, survival is an art form. One of balance, silence, and perfect adaptation. Flowing like a silver serpent through the heart of the rainforest, the Amazon River is more than just a body of water. It is a world unto itself. Stretching over 4,000 miles and fed by thousands of tributaries, it shapes the land, sustains the forest, and harbors an entire universe of life below the surface. But in these murky waters and flooded banks, survival is governed by stealth, speed, and raw power. The river and its swamps are ruled by predators perfectly adapted to strike from the shadows. Lurking beneath the surface, the black caiman, Melanoscus niger, is the undisputed apex predator of the Amazon's aquatic domain. Reaching lengths of up to 20 feet and weighing over 1,000 pounds, this ancient crocodilian is a master of ambush. Its pitch-black skin allows it to vanish in the dark waters, absorbing sunlight during the day to maintain body heat at night. With eyes designed to reflect light in near-total darkness, it can detect movement from great distances. When the moment is right, it explodes from the water with terrifying speed. Its bite force, over 3,700 pounds per square inch, capable of crushing bone and tearing through prey ranging from fish and birds to monkeys and even other caimans. But the caiman is not alone in these waters. Coiled beneath the reeds, the green anaconda, Eunectes marinus, waits. The largest snake in the world by weight, It can grow up to 30 feet long and weigh more than 550 pounds. This muscular serpent is a silent killer, often submerged with only its eyes and nostrils above the surface. When a victim wanders too close, it strikes with lightning speed, wrapping its immense body around the prey and squeezing with a force of up to 90 pounds per square inch, enough to shatter bones and stop a heartbeat in seconds. Smaller, but no less deadly, are the red-bellied piranhas, Pygocentrus natereri. Despite their reputation, they are not mindless killers, but efficient predators. Hunting in coordinated schools, they use razor-sharp, interlocking teeth to strip flesh in seconds. Their attacks are precise, often targeting weak or injured prey. With a success rate nearing 70%, they are among the most effective hunters in the river, capable of reducing a carcass to bone in minutes. In these same waters swims another giant, the arapaima, or Arapaima gigas, known locally as pirarucu. Reaching lengths of up to 10 feet, it is the largest freshwater fish in the world. Equipped with a specialized respiratory system, it surfaces to breathe air every 15 to 20 minutes. An evolutionary advantage in the oxygen-poor waters of the Amazon. This ambush predator can lunge with explosive force, using its powerful mouth to create a vacuum that sucks in fish, amphibians, and even small birds. And when the sun sets, a very different predator takes to the skies from the caves near the riverbanks, the vampire bat. Desmodus rotundus survives exclusively on blood. Guided by thermal sensors and echolocation, it approaches sleeping animals undetected, slicing into their skin with razor-sharp teeth. Its saliva, rich in anticoagulants and painkillers, keeps the blood flowing while the host remains unaware. But these bats are more than just parasites. They are social creatures, sharing food with those who come back empty, maintaining bonds that help their colonies survive in a world of uncertainty. Each year, as the skies darken and the rains begin to fall, the Amazon undergoes a transformation so vast it reshapes the very face of the forest. Between December and May, torrential downpours raise the water levels of the Amazon River and its tributaries by up to 15 feet, flooding millions of hectares of forest. The once solid ground becomes a liquid maze, a network of submerged trees, newly formed swamps, and endless stretches of open water. This is the rainy season, a time of abundance and upheaval, when the rules of survival shift as rapidly as the currents. These seasonal floods, known as varzea, bring new life to the forest. Aquatic plants bloom. Fish species begin their breeding cycles, drawn to the nutrient-rich shallows. In this temporary paradise, 60% of the Amazon's freshwater fish reproduce, taking advantage of the expanded habitat and plentiful food. But for many land animals, this is a time of hardship. The rise in waters force them to adapt or perish. Jaguars, already masters of the forest floor, take to the water with uncanny ease. Unlike most big cats, they embrace the river, hunting with precision in flooded zones where other predators cannot tread. Fish, turtles, and even caimans fall prey to their powerful jaws. Studies show that during the rainy season, aquatic animals make up nearly a fifth of a jaguar's diet. Here, the rainforest's apex predator becomes a swimmer, diver, and ambush hunter of the shallows. But not all creatures are so fearsome. The leafcutter ants, normally anchored deep in the earth, must race to protect their subterranean homes from flooding. As their nests fill with water, Workers scramble to relocate the vital fungus they farm to higher chambers. Some colonies even construct natural drainage systems, tiny feats of engineering that ensure their survival when the ground becomes a swamp. Up in the canopy, the macaws gather in great flocks at exposed mineral-rich clay licks. These colorful birds, now more vulnerable to predators due to their frequent ground visits, consume the clay to neutralize toxins from unripe seeds and fruits. A dietary ritual essential during the lush, food-abundant season. The clay licks also become social hubs, places for courtship, territory defense, and collective vigilance against predators. For giant otters, the rising waters scatter their prey across a much larger hunting ground. But these social carnivores respond with unity. Working in coordinated groups, they herd fish into narrow channels, using loud calls and synchronized movements to maximize success. In the chaos of the flood, it is their cooperation that keeps them fed and alive. Even the peccaries, the wild pigs of the Amazon, are drawn to the mineral licks. Traveling in large herds, they rely on strength in numbers and complex social structures to detect threats and defend one another. But with predators like the jaguar lurking nearby, these clay walls become scenes of sudden ambush and desperate escape. Up to 30% of jaguar attacks on peccaries occur at these sites during the rainy season. In this time of abundance, every advantage becomes a risk. Every flood, a blessing and a curse. The rainy season is not simply a shift in weather. It is the great equalizer of the Amazon, forcing predators and prey alike to adapt, to evolve, and to find new ways to survive in a forest that never stays the same for long. For millions of years, the Amazon has evolved, flourished, and adapted, shaped by tectonic shifts, seasonal floods, and the relentless dance of predator and prey. But today, its greatest threat does not come from within. It comes from beyond the forest, from human hands that have altered more in decades than nature has in millennia. Deforestation slices through the heart of the rainforest, leaving scars visible from space. Each minute, vast swathes of ancient trees fall to chainsaws and fires, clearing land for agriculture, livestock, and mining. In just the past 50 years, the Amazon has lost more than 20% of its original area. This is not merely the loss of trees, it is the unraveling of a vast, interconnected ecosystem, home to 1 in 10 known species on Earth. It is the disappearance of life forms never studied, never seen, now gone before they were even named. As the forest shrinks, the rivers suffer. Soil erosion clouds the once clear waters, while pollution seeps into tributaries, poisoning fish and disrupting breeding cycles. Aquatic ecosystems, already sensitive to seasonal shifts, now struggle to survive under constant human pressure. Insects, birds, mammals, and amphibians lose their habitats, their food sources, their very place in the web of life. Climate change only accelerates this collapse. With each degree of rising temperature, rainfall patterns shift. Once predictable seasons become chaotic. Droughts and wildfires scorch the forest floor, turning once lush landscapes into brittle tinderboxes. The Amazon, once the Earth's great climate stabilizer, now teeters on the edge of becoming a net emitter of carbon, its balance disturbed beyond recognition. And yet, even now, amidst the devastation, the forest fights to endure. New species are still being discovered, 400 to 500 each year. Hidden in the canopy, buried in the soil, swimming in the depths of blackwater rivers, life continues to reveal its secrets. But for every discovery, there is a silent extinction, a creature lost to time, to chainsaws, to indifference. The Amazon is not just a distant wilderness. It is a global lifeline, a regulator of the planet's climate, a reservoir of water, a home to cultures and communities that have lived in harmony with its rhythms for thousands of years. Its crisis is not theirs alone. It is ours, and its fate will shape the future of every living thing on this planet. Though the Amazon faces unprecedented threats, its story is not yet finished. In the shadow of deforestation and ecological collapse, a quieter force is rising, a movement of resistance, resilience, and renewal. Conservationists, indigenous communities, scientists, and everyday people are coming together to protect what remains of Earth's greatest wilderness. Across the Amazon basin, nature reserves and protected zones have become sanctuaries of survival. Studies show that lands managed by indigenous peoples experience significantly lower rates of deforestation. These communities, who have lived in harmony with the forest for generations, are now at the forefront of its defense, combining traditional knowledge with modern conservation strategies to guard millions of hectares from destruction. Reforestation efforts, though slow, are gaining momentum. Governments and environmental organizations are collaborating to plant trees, restore riverbanks, and rehabilitate degraded lands. Each new sapling is a small promise that the forest can return, that balance can be restored. Science plays its part too. With advanced satellite monitoring, researchers now track illegal logging in real time. Ecologists document new species, not only to marvel at their uniqueness, but to argue for their protection. Education programs bring awareness to local and global communities alike, shifting consumption habits and encouraging sustainability in supply chains. But perhaps the most powerful tool of all is awareness. The realization that protecting the Amazon is not just an act of environmentalism, but one of survival. Every tree that stands, every river that flows, plays a role in stabilizing the Earth's climate, filtering its air, and safeguarding its future. Each of us has a stake in this forest, whether through supporting conservation initiatives, reducing the demand that drives deforestation, or simply spreading the message. We become part of the solution. The Amazon's fight is not over. It is a call to action, a call we must answer before the silence of extinction replaces the songs of the forest. The Amazon is more than a place. It is a system of life, immense, intricate, and irreplaceable. And though its future hangs in the balance, hope still lives in every effort to protect it, every hand that plants, and every voice that speaks out. The predators may reign in the shadows, but the true guardians of this wild world are those who choose to protect it. In the heart of South America, where rivers carve through ancient earth and green crowns rise above a sea of mist, the Amazon continues to breathe, slowly, defiantly. It is a world shaped by power, ruled by predators, and sustained by a balance so intricate it humbles science itself. But it is also a world on the edge. We've journeyed through its underworld, soared through its canopy, and drifted along its waters, witnessing creatures of astonishing strength, stealth, and resilience. From the jaguar's crushing bite to the silent ambush of the anaconda, from the vibrant chaos of the macaw to the quiet cooperation of ants, every life form plays a role in the Amazon's eternal rhythm. Yet even as ancient battles for survival unfold beneath the leaves, a greater struggle now threatens them all. The battle between preservation and destruction, silence and action. The Amazon is not just a marvel to be admired. It is a lifeline to be defended. What happens here, in the world's deepest jungle, echoes far beyond its borders. In its fate, we see our own. So as the canopy rustles, as the rivers wind on, as creatures great and small move through shadow and light, let us remember, this forest is still alive. Its stories are still being written. And its survival depends not only on the strength of its predators, but on the will of its protectors. This is the wild Amazon. These are the mysteries of the ultimate predators. And this is the legacy we are now called to preserve.